Libre Upa. Giao say ha. Giao saying ha. I Assalamu alaikum. ¿Cómo te digo? ¿Cómo se fa? ¿Cómo está? I promise you, I will have all 10 languages and I will speak perfect in each language. What's up, bro? I will continue my reading on my book. I think I'll complete this reading. Uh, if you recall, I read from my book, The Fear Within. And I think, well, it's a short story. Well, since it's a short story, I'm gonna try to. I may finish this today. It all depends on how I feel when I get to a certain point. But let me continue my reading of the field within. Major found himself in a dark corner of the room. He had bought his drink and he had sat quietly. Big Joe and the Reverend were not there now, but he was sure both of them would arrive soon. So he sipped out of his paper cup. He thought of Boston. Then the three hoodlums walked into the bootlegger's house. They were all smoking a marijuana blunt, and they were laughing and joking about something. Major observed them as he sat in the darkness. They were much too high to notice the dark corner had concealed his presence. However, Major kept watching them, and he decided that it was time to get it on. But it could not happen here. It would have to be where there would be no witnesses and in the darkness. He waited for them to leave. He followed. They were still laughing and joking as Major followed them down the dirt road. Major began to walk faster to be noticed by them. He had to give them enough time to get in a well deserted and bushy area. One of the thugs turned around and yelled, "Hey, you talking to me, punk?" Major stopped while holding his gun to his side. What? One of them said, "Let's kick his ass." The three hoodlums rushed toward Major. With the light of the full moon, he saw them all. Major raised his gun and fired 3 times. All Three of them shouted and fell to the ground. Major ran over to check the bodies. Two of the boys were dead, but the other one was crying and moaning. Major rushed over to him. Bitch! Spit at the young thug. Major shot him in the head and kept walking. That's the end of that short story. So I completed that. I did promise you that I would read the rest of that short story, and that is the short story. I have read the complete short story in that particular book. Let Us Talk. There are several short stories in that particular book. I'm looking at a poem here. I It's a short poem. Let me see. I may read it to you. Let's see how long this short. It's a poem that here. I read this poem if it's short. Okay, it's a short poem. Let me read you another uh, piece of poetry that's in this same book called "Let Us Talk." The poem in this book is called "He Hid from Them." He hid from them because he knew they were bloodthirsty animals who saw his blood. They wanted him because of his virtue. How could he be so very much unlike them? He had walked with them only to see the stubborn and painful reality. He knew they were doomed. His eyes could not conceal the gloom. So they sought after him just to hear him speak. What would he say on that day when he meet the judges who had no grudges, but they did? That's why he hid from them. They wanted to discredit him, but they could not do this. This notion they had to dismiss because there are two kinds of rules: those designed by fools and those which God choose. So I've completed uh, I've completed a short story reading for my reading audience, and I completed a poem for my reading audience. I got I have much more. I have much more, and I'll continue to do my readings in an effort to sell my books. This is MUSAU MattmeachamJR signing out on Earth.